Hello everyone. I've written a new blog on LinkedIn. You could see it on the screen. Or AI agents or AI digital avatar, the future of transforming businesses across organization roles. So AI agent is a new buzzword in the industry, and how can we use it, how can we implement, how the business can apply it more effectively. So I'm going to walk through some demo. For every blog recently I started doing some technical demo, how to apply it, how to use it, so that the people can benefit it and they can try to use it in their own applications or in their own company organization. So that's my intent behind this demo. With that said, so what is an AI agent? So AI agent is more than a chatbot. Okay, so you can see all the details in my blog. So I'm not going to read line by line. So what AI agent can do, that when it's more than user interface, it can do like more complex workflows. Meaning, this can be applied for both user interface and also for backend processes. We can try to use a lot of framework. We can try to use the LangChain. That's one of the open source framework that helps to simplify the creation of application by LLM models, large language models. And Flowwise is one of the open source low code platform that enables the developers to build customized applications and orchestrate the workflow powered by LLM. And this Flowwise is also using langchain.js, and it totally simplifies drag and drop, and you can try to do the prototyping and any type of deployment of LLM based solutions. The other one is a LangGraph. That's one of the tool that built upon LangChain. So that facilitates the construction of stateful multi-agent workflow using LLM. So everything is tied up to the LLM. That's the most important thing I just want to let you know for AI agent. LangFlow, there's another framework. That's a user interface for LangChain. LangFlow provides a visual drag and drop interface to design and manage LLM applications. And then the other one is called Crew AI. That's a framework designed to orchestrate very complex collaborative AI agent with the specific roles and goals. So everything is going to have a predefined and sophisticated multi-agent system and supporting autonomous uh, inter-agent delegation and customizing the tool. There is something called Baby AGI. That's another open source application is there. On top of that, it's also we can also use AutoGen. That's from the introducing from the Microsoft. That's Studio AutoGen Studio. That also is a low code interface where we can try to build multi-agent workflow. So I thought of using the AutoGen, but I thought of using finally ended up using Flowwise because I don't want to try something new. And we can try to use various platform. There is no hard and fast rule, so I started using Flowwise. So with that said, in order to install the Flowwise, you need to start with that Node.js. So either you can use a Flowwise cloud platform, or you can also use within your computer. So I installed it everything on my computer so I can run it. So what you need to do, that one first step is you need to get that Node.js. You could see that one. I'm using Mac, so I already installed NVM and this Node.js. And if you can choose that one, running it here, let me do that one. Oh, I'm running it here. Let me kind of do that. Control C. So clear it. So if you can use that one, you can see that when the version, you could see what is that version, npm minus v. Okay, I'm using 10.9, and then after that, right, you can install all the. Once you install the Node.js, then you have to go to the Flowwise AI. So where you need to install the Flowwise, I already installed it, and you can also update it, and then finally you can try to start it. Okay, once you start it, the port 3000 is going to be open up. So I'm not trying to walk through every single step because it's pretty straightforward. But even though I was having some struggle with my Mac, it's not allowing certain permission and different versions. So I was struggling with at least 1 or 2 hours. I was fighting with this installation, but typically it's a straightforward. I hope you won't see the same problem what I faced through. Okay, let me go to run it. So once you run it, right, it's going to open up the port and it's going to run it. Okay, so it means from this point I can go there. I already opened up Flowwise. If you can go there, so this is a local host 3000 port. So that's going to open up. And you can have a agent flow. This is a user interface. Agent flow, okay, I created one of the agent flow. I'm going to walk through the demo. Marketplace, a lot of, the workflow is already, or agent is already available. Agent or workflow is already available. So you can try to pick and choose whether you want to see the agent or many different things. And you can try to open up, and then you can try to use a template. This is the workflow I'm going to walk through in a second. You can try to make it a little bit more bigger, or I can try to make it simple. You can magnify, or you can try to collapse. All right. So it is said, right? You can go there, and then so this is a marketplace where you're having a agent flow or chat flow. So as I mentioned already, the chat flow and the agent flow can have more complex workflow. It's called multi-agent. What it does basically internally, it's calling one workflow to another workflow. In other words, one process to another process. It's calling that one. So it can be anything. It could be a Python code. It could be a LLM model, or it could be a API. It could be various things. Okay, that's the beauty about this agent flow. So I already created OKR card. It's called Objective Key Results card. So in order to do that one, probably I can create a new one very quickly. I'm not going to enter all the stuff, how to create. Once you click this one, you can try to click here. And first you need to go there, multi-agent. So there's always going to be one supervisor and multiple workers. Think about that one. The supervisor is going to be you. I'm going to create a persona of any particular role. So let's say my role is CTO. I want to create multiple workers. Okay, so that those things are going to do the day-to-day task, what I'm looking for it. And then the workers are going to pass it back to the supervisor. So let's say supervisor is, I'm kind of dropping it. And then I'm going to create workers. There is always going to be one supervisor. And then you can have multiple workers. You can create it. So let's kind of make it, minimize it. And then we can try to create another worker. So you can have multiple workers. And then you can also create that chat model. So there are a lot of things are there. If you look at that one, you can see that one AWS, OpenAI, Azure, many different integrations there. So I'm going to use the chat OpenAI model. Okay, so I'm going to use a chat OpenAI model. So if you can create here, so we want to create the credential. So already I have credentials here. I hope I open up that one. So this is my OpenAI. I'm having a account right where you can create account. So once you create the API key, so I'm going to give the API key already created called secret key. We can give any name. So once I go there, where is that my stuff here? So I already created here. It's called agent test that I already associated with the secret key. What is there in OpenAI? Once you enter here, you can choose a model. Any models you can choose it, and then you can have a temperature. And if you want to allow the image models, you can allow it. So once you put all of them, I'm having 2 workers and 1 supervisor. Now I have to connect everything, isn't it? So now I have to create look at this one. I'm going to create here. So this one is going to be connecting to the chat model. And then I'm going to connect the supervisor here. I want to connect to this supervisor to the worker. So we need to connect to the corresponding the supervisor here. So it means that this supervisor is going to call the worker. This is having a knowledge base. Knowledge base is the chat OpenAI. And then I'm having here. So again, I want to connect to this particular one. And I want to do it here. So in case this worker is going to call another worker, this worker is going to act as a supervisor, then you have to connect supervisor to supervisor. So in this case, 1 supervisor and 2 workers are there. In some cases, it can have more hierarchical view. So you can create like this. So like that, I have done it, already created that part. So I'm going to create it here. Let's say I create a supervisor, chat OpenAI, worker and worker. So let's talk about what is this, all about this particular agent. The agent is going to create the OKR, Objective Key Results. So it's more strategy management where you can go there. So I'm going to open up here. I'm going to give a prompt here. Hey, you are an OKR writer. So your goal is to write a OKR creation based on the below format. I'm giving the certain formats I've given. When you're done, you give the output back to the supervisor. It means it's going back to the supervisor. And then I'm having another worker. So that is called project writer. So it's going to create you are a project writer. Your goal is to write the project's creation based on the below format. I've given a certain format. And I'm telling it what to learn. And I'm saying what, why, who, and all the details. Once you have done it, give the output back to the supervisor. So I'm having a supervisor here. So in supervisor, I'm having additional parameters. So once you open here, you are a supervisor and final summarization with one title. After you give all the tasks to your workers. The question is about OKR, then call OKR writer, and then pass the results to the project writer agent. So I've given certain instructions to that. Okay, so that's all about that one. Again, I connected to the chat, OpenAI to the chat model, and supervisor to supervisor, supervisor to supervisor. So now it's all done. Once you've done it, you can save it. And then I'm going to enter what will happen is we can integrate this one as an embedded in your application. Once you integrate it, you'll be having something like this. So this is similar to you have seen it virtual assistant or anywhere. So I call it as a digital avatar. So you can have it for every role. This is for the role. Every role you can create it. So that's the beauty about that one. In other words, it is not going to be one LLM model. You are having a multiple LLM model. If you are having in the company, in a particular team, you are having 5 roles. Let's say the agile product team, it's having a scrum master, product owner, developer, technical lead, architect, QA. So all of them will be having their own assistant. The assistant is nothing but I call it as an agent. So the assistant, right, it's going to have multiple workflows there. So you can have even 100 workflows. Depends upon the task, it can do that one. So you'll be having a task of, in this case, I want to create the OKR card. So objective key results card. Once I click here, so I'm going to clear the history so you can see it. So what I'm going to do here is, next step is, I'm going to make it a bigger screen. So now I'm going to type here. So here is going to be the magic, and it's going to be the beauty about this whole multi-agent, okay, AI multi-agent. So I'm going to write an OKR card for enhanced patient experience. So this is for the healthcare company. Think about this one. Okay, I'm writing a OKR. So once I enter here, so look at this one. It's going to call supervisor. The supervisor is calling the OKR writer. OKR writer is another agent I mentioned to you. So look at this one. I've given a certain format. And then supervisor is calling the project writer. So it's calling automatically and then giving the results back. So if you look at that one, it's giving all the results, finish it, and then it's going to summarize all the results and giving back to us. So this is going to be one of them. And then I want to create one more thing. Write an OKR card for optimize provider efficiency. So this is going to be another OKR card. So when I tried to do that one, the supervisor is calling in turn OKR writer. OKR writer is the one of the agent, and then in turn, right, it's going to call the project writer, and then finally it's putting the results back. So this, you can see the what, why, and who, and everything all together. So that's the simple way of explaining everything. And then I'm going to show you one other thing, marketplace. So do you think that can we do with the database? Absolutely can do with the database. I'm going to show you some of them with the database. You can try to use the vector database. You can try to connect to the SQL. You could do pretty much everything. So what I showed that one is a very simple chat model. You could do that one, any database, all the ETL processes, right? You can try to convert everything to the agent. So it's going to be more, agent is going to be more vigilant. Gone are the days where we used to create all the ETL process, hundreds of ETL process. Now you can create the agent that's going to be more efficient, and also linking with the multiple systems, integration with the multiple applications, plus the knowledge base is LLM. LLM is going to be the beauty about the whole thing. So now you can have the SQL. So if you go there, it's connecting to the SQL model. Okay, I'm not going to do all this stuff because we need to create all the data source and all the connection strings. We need to create it, but you could do that. You can get an idea about it, how we can try to connect it. Again, everywhere the beauty about the LLM is associated. That's the whole idea for the agent. And then you can try to create a vector database, and then let's create this particular one. So see that many workers are here. So let's talk about it. What are these workers are look like? So it's going Chroma is one of the vector database. So OpenAI embeddings. So we can try to create a Chroma database and vector store retriever. And then you can have chat open and the multi-retrieval QA chain finally. And I want to see something else very quickly, conversational agent. So you can create a lot more things. You can also send email as well. Okay, you can have a send grid. Okay, so send Slack messages. All of them can be connected. Send grid email. So where you can create all the emails can be used. Again, the beauty about that one is once you use there, once I go there here, let's say, I can say use template. Boom, now I got it. Now I can try to make all the changes on my own local. So you can take the template and then modify. Now you have to provide all the connection string and chat GPT model. All of them you have to give the data, and also it's not only with the GPT. It can be applied for various LLM model. So I already showed you here. You're having a Llama Index, Llama LangChain, and many utilities are there. If you go to the chat model, various chat model is there. You don't want to tie up to any particular chat model. Whichever you're using it, you can use it. If you're using AWS, yes, you can use it. Azure or Google, everything is supporting here. And then also the agent, there are certain agents are already available. So you can try to even plug and play pretty much with that one. So like this is a Flowise is one of the tool. Like this, there are so many tools are available. As I mentioned earlier, right, those tools are Langflow and Crew AI and AutoGen, Baby AGI. There are quite a few, LangGraph. Many of them are supporting to create multi-agent AI, where you can try to create more workers and doing automation. So this is going to be amazing, and the productivity for helping for the productivity, efficiency, and many tasks can be done. And you want to do for the future onboarding or training, everything can be done. So it's going to be at the fingertips. So the HR can create their own tool, their own AI agent. So anyone who's getting onboarded, okay, they can try to give the AI agent, HR AI agent. It's going to be play a role for them. Any monotonous work, you don't want to go and do all the stuff that can be given. Of course, we don't want to replace the humans. That's not our intent. So any type of monotonous training, documentation, and any quick queries, so all can be done super easy with the agent. This is going to be the revolutionary in the industry. So I just want to share with you how to do it. And also I shared this article more in detail. You can see all the tools I mentioned and a couple of use cases I mentioned. So you can try to look at it. If you have any comments, keep me posted. Thank you so much.